video camera on the instigator. So that'll give you a cruise eye view of all the speed and excitement of this race. Weather conditions, well, they're overcast. The sun is trying to peek through once in a while, but no success. Pretty overcast most of the day. The seas are very calm, very flat out there, making selection to a very fast race. support to make sure that this race went off smoothly. And so far, things are going, well, just terrific in this Runaway Island Offshore Classic here in Panama City Beach, Florida. Now, here's a group of boats coming into your picture. On the far outside is Plum Loco, followed by Royal Flush. Then there's Shipwreck Shirts. And on the far inside, Turbine Express. Great Adventure on the far outside. And of course, they're all heading towards the milling area, where they will begin the race in just a little while. Now, there's a brand new 28-foot skater, Extreme DeSantis Chevy, being driven by Dan DeSantis and throttled by Mark Hilsinger. And this is their very, very first race with this boat. We wish the entire crew of Extreme DeSantis Chevy the very best of luck in this race, as well as all the other races during this 1993 season. The DeSantis Chevy Racing Team. There's Instigator with a freeze-frame video onboard camera. Plum Loco coming into the picture, heading for the milling area. BFI Systems. Beach Bull Island 106 FM, getting ready for the beginning of the race. And Rolling Thunder with Gary Pearson navigating. Gary, of course, is the U.S. Offshore Racing Association president. And there's the yellow smoke, signaling that in just a few minutes will be the beginning of the Runaway Island Offshore Classic, the very first U.S. Offshore Racing Association race for 1993. Now, as we cover the starts, we'll cover the first start, which includes the D class, P, and C class. As the boats begin to move out of the milling area, heading towards the beginning of the race, we see Beach Bull and BFI Systems. Rolling Thunder. Shipwreck Shirts. Instigator. And as the boats begin, we see Rolling Thunder, Shipwreck Shirts, Instigator. There's Beach Bull. Rolling Thunder coming into the picture. Shipwreck Shirts. Instigator. Ready. And we have the green flag. The 1993 Runaway Island Offshore Classic has begun. And there is Rolling Thunder going to the immediate lead, leading the pack now as we look at the field. There is Shipwreck Shirts. And Beach Bull alongside. There's Instigator, a 32-foot active, owner and throttle man Peter Meyer, Port Washington, New York. Driver is John Domino of Babylon, and navigating Rusty Dayton, also of Port Washington. A sponsor of Instigator is N&J Plumbing from Port Washington, New York. Now there's Beach Bull making its way through the pack. Alongside on the outside is BFI Systems, and they're having a little competition. They're going neck and neck, and it looks like that BFI Systems has the edge. And it seems that Rolling Thunder on the far outside is maintaining its lead, and there is Instigator. And very shortly we're going to go on board the Instigator. There we are. You're looking at our crew eye view camera shot with our freeze frame video camera, but actually it's yesterday's shot because, as you can see, it's sunny. What happened was our camera got a little drenched, so unfortunately we can only show you yesterday's picture. Also, the Instigator crew would like to thank the Montauk Yacht Club, Tom Cahorsi and Guy LaMotta of the Manhasset Bay Marina as well. Freeze Frame Video would like to thank the Instigator crew for helping to bring our video equipment to this race. Thank you very much. And there's the Instigator, closer to the camera, and of course on the far outside, Rolling Thunder maintaining its lead. Best of luck to the Instigator team as well as Rolling Thunder. Currently we're on the Beach Bull race team. It's a 32-foot Conquest powered by three 2.4 Mercury EFI outboards. There's Rolling Thunder and BFI Systems on the outside. Now, the owner of Beach Bull is Robert Baker. He's from Marysville, Michigan. Driver today is Tim Baker from Lakeport, Michigan. At the throttle, Jim Baker from Port Huron, Michigan. Now, the Bakers would like to dedicate this race to their best friend, Barry DeLand, who passed away recently, promoting this event. They ask that you help perhaps to sponsor United Cerebral Palsy, a very good cause. Once again, you're looking at Beach Bull Pirate Radio. Beach Bull is sponsored by the Beach Bull newspaper, a local paper around town, and also Pirate Radio 97.7. We're coming on Rolling Thunder now as we look at the screen. Rolling Thunder is a 33-foot Baja Cat, yellow hull and yellow deck. And as we pass Rolling Thunder, we're coming up on BFI Systems, which is currently #1 overall in this race, in this Runaway Island Offshore Classic in Panama City Beach, Florida. BFI Systems is a 39-foot Velocity thoroughbred with a white and blue hull and deck, with two 750 horsepower Chevy motors and Mercury drives. The owner-driver of BFI Systems, Ronald Greenwood of Tyngsboro, Massachusetts. At the throttle, Ed Binkowski of Coconut Creek, Florida. Navigating, Robert Riley of East Bridgewater, Massachusetts. You're looking at BFI Systems, #1 overall in this Runaway Island Offshore Classic. As we watch BFI Systems going around its first turn, we see many spectators enjoying the race today. It's a 7-mile course along the beach, so many different vantage points that spectators have of this great race today. Now, as we leave the BFI Systems race team, we wish them the best of luck in the 1993 United States offshore racing season. BFI Systems. As we leave BFI Systems, we're going to be coming on to Instigator in just a little while. Instigator is a 32-foot active with a white deck and two 600-horsepower Chevy inboards with Mercury outdrives. Rolling Thunder is on the outside of Instigator as we look at the screen. On board Instigator, owner, throttle man Peter Meyer of Port Washington, New York. Driving Instigator John Domino of Babylon, New York. Navigating Rusty Dayton of Port Washington. Now, the crew of Instigator would like to thank its sponsors, N&J Plumbing from Port Washington, New York, and the Montauk Yacht Club. Also, Tom Cahorsi and Guy LaMotta from the Manhasset Bay Marine. You're looking at Instigator, number 1 in its class. We're going on board Instigator now with our onboard freeze-frame video camera. You're getting a nice view of the race from the driver's point of view. The camera seems to be working very nicely. Nice smooth ride. Instigator owner and throttle man Peter Meyer is a 10-year veteran of offshore competition who earned his reputation while at the helm of the famed Lady L, one of the most durable and successful rigs in the history of the sport. He won a world championship with Lady L in 1989 and won the Mike Papa Memorial Award last year at Sarasota for setting a new speed record. Instigator race team. There's Instigator, currently running first in his class. All seems to be going pretty smoothly, and as we see Instigator, we also come on BFI Systems on the outside and Beach Bull on the far outside. All seem to be holding their course pretty well at this point. And as we look at Instigator, there's the navigator pointing in the direction of the race for the rest of the crew. There's Rolling Thunder, 33-foot Baja Cat, currently running first in its class and first overall. Rolling Thunder is owned by Arnold D'Ambrosia of Point Pleasant, New Jersey, and he also happens to be the driver. Arnold has been racing on and off for 25 years or so. He is the owner and operator of Arnold's Yacht Basin in Point Pleasant, New Jersey, and he is the 19